Supergirl is going to appear in Superman Legacy, and there are 2 finalists for the role. Hey everyone, welcome back to the road to Superman Legacy. This is the web series that follows all the updates and rumours regarding the Superman reboot. This is episode 3, and today we are actually talking about Supergirl. It has been heavily rumoured for a while now that Supergirl was going to appear in Superman Legacy, with her own solo film also being released in Chapter 1 of the DCU. But now we have more solid evidence of that actually being the case. Now, for those of you who don't know, Sasha Calle won't be returning to the role of Supergirl. The Flash was her first and final performance. She won't be in the DCU, and the role will have a new actress playing her. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the character will first appear in James Gunn's Superman Legacy, before headlining her own movie, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. And according to the news outlet, there are now 2 finalists for the role. They state the search for Supergirl, Millie Alcock, Meg Donnelly, screen test in Atlanta. Now, I don't know much about either of these actresses, so if we look at their IMDb profiles, we can get a bit more information. Millie Alcock is a 24-year-old Australian actress, best known for her role in The House of Dragon, the prequel to Game of Thrones, and apparently she is a fan favourite. For the role, she received a nomination for Critics' Choice Television Award for Best Supporting Actress in a Drama Series, so clearly she is good at acting. She is 5'5", so almost an entire foot shorter than our new Superman, David Corenswet, who I will talk about in a minute. Meg Donnelly is also 24 years old and is an American actress, best known for appearing in things like American Housewife, Disney's Zombies, but most importantly, she has been the voice of Supergirl in the Legion of Superheroes and Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths. So she has already experienced playing Supergirl in animation before, and she does have a good voice as she was an understudy in The Sound of Music Live, which emphasizes the quality of her voice. She is even shorter than Millie, being 5'3", meaning an even larger gap between her and David Corenswet. So which actress do I prefer for the role? Honestly, I don't really have a preference. They both sound like great choices, and both have good reasonings as to why. Millie has played larger roles than Meg and was nominated for Best Supporting Actress at the Critics' Choice Awards, so maybe you could say she is stronger evidence of being a better actress. But at the same time, Meg has voiced Supergirl twice before, and so she may have a greater understanding of the character. Also, the fact we know she can do voice acting gives her an extra point, as in the DCU, actors and actresses will have to play their roles not only in live action, but in animation too. And if your actor can't voice act, then their animated counterpart won't be very good. And just because she hasn't been nominated for an award like Millie, doesn't mean she isn't a good actress. House of Dragon was a big show that was noticed by a lot of people. Meg hasn't had that big break of sorts yet, but every actor is waiting for that moment. Every actor has to start somewhere, and maybe Supergirl could be that big break. Austin Butler wasn't a well-known name until we saw him play Elvis. Now everyone knows of him and knows how good of an actor he is, so I don't think we can knock Meg down just because she hasn't been noticed yet. I do think both actresses have a lot going for them, and most importantly, they both look like Supergirl. Whilst we may have our own opinions on who they should pick, James Gunn and Peter Safran were the ones who saw their auditions in Atlanta. And why is Atlanta so important? Well, because that is where they are going to be filming Superman Legacy, and where David Corenswet is right now. They definitely both did chemistry tests with David to see how well they worked with him, and that will be a key factor in deciding who should play Supergirl. Like I mentioned, both actresses are around a foot shorter than David, which could be a nice contrast between the two, but will definitely mean they will have to look up a lot unless Supergirl hovers when talking to Superman. But let me know who you think should be cast as Supergirl in the comments below. Both have very strong points going for them, so I think this will be an interesting conversation and a difficult decision for DC Studios. But now talking specifically about Superman Legacy, the addition of Supergirl would mean that the character's appearing is starting to expand quite a lot. We have a lot of heroes already appearing, which does make sense as the DCU is set in a universe where heroes already exist and have existed for quite a while now. So for them not to be there would be more confusing confusing than them being there. I actually think having these heroes come and go could make the universe feel a lot more normal. A big issue I've had with the MCU and later DCEU is that these solo movies feel so contained, but then suddenly all the other heroes are with them for their combined team movies. If these are big threats, then why don't other heroes come and help? And I think that may be the difference in Superman Legacy. James Gunn has emphasized that this is still a Superman and Lois story, and he doesn't like cameos for the sake of cameos. So I think each character appearing will play important roles to the story. Maybe something like the film opening with a couple of the JSA or Authority fighting some villains, and then Superman comes in and saves the day. And then maybe towards the end of the film, Supergirl meets up with Superman for some sort of conversation. Hopefully it's not just to set up her solo film, as I imagine it will help the story in some way, but I do hope the appearances of other heroes are brief. I get this is a connected universe, and I like that they recognize other characters existing and interacting with Superman, but I still want this to be a Superman and Lois story, with other characters being there for just a few minutes at most. We are now almost a month away from production on Legacy, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that first image of David in the new Superman suit. There were some fake images released with people trying to claim they were leaked images. They are entirely fake. It's an AI version of Henry Cavill's suit, and the face doesn't really look like David Corenswet. But I have to say, if this was the final look we got, I would be very happy, because I think this looks great. As for this other fake photo, I think this looks awful. If the actual suit looks anything like that, then this movie will have a lot of people laughing at it. For me, that looks like such a cheap and tacky suit. I know that in the comics his mum made his suit for him, and this is the classic look of Superman, but this is a multi-million-dollar movie made in 2024. The only way I can see this as an acceptable suit is if they do what Superman and Lois did and what Spider-Man tends to do. Have a first cheap, rough suit which he wears right at the beginning of him becoming a hero, and then it cuts to the modern day where he wears a much better suit. If they do that, then I actually would love that a lot. It makes fans of the older suit happy, but also modernizes it for modern audiences. But as for when we will see the new suit, well, don't expect it to happen before production starts. Gunn confirmed the only photo of David in the costume is one on his phone, and Gunn is standing next to him, but he won't release that as it isn't the right suit. So I imagine it was either a concept suit, a bit like what Henry Cavill was seen wearing in the behind the scenes of Man of Steel before they created the final suit for the movie, or because David was wearing Cavill's old suit for the test screening like we talked about in the last episode. Whichever answer it is, we won't be seeing David in the suit until the movie goes into production, which is in March, so we will have to be patient, but I'm sure that time will fly by. But that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. I hope to see you here again soon, so until then, have a great day. Bye!